am here in Stanislaus, CSU, right? And guess who I have found? A lovebird couple. They are on date night, and Kylie and Daniel. I have a question for them, and they have offered to tell us and help us talk about emotional intelligence. So what a perfect time to do it during their date night, right? While you're playing.
It's called aggravation.
Aggravation. What a nice intro into emotional intelligence. So Kylie and Daniel, one of the things that really propels me is I grew up in an environment where I wasn't able to talk and express myself or process my emotions.
Right.
And so I've been on this, almost like this journey, first of healing and finding the language in which to be able to express myself, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with a lady by the name of Brina. She's got this excellent book called The Atlas of the Heart. And one of the things she says in that is she says, language helps us to help others know where we are, and then where we let them know where you are, and they can respond to that accordingly, right? So, my first question, what is the biggest challenge for you when you're expressing yourself to your loved ones?
I think I grew up in a divorced household. They actually were never married. They were 17 and 18 when they had me. And so in one household, I was very free to say what I wanted. We were able to talk about emotions, and in another household, I was not. And so it was very conflicting growing up because as a child, how do you regulate when you're safe and when you're not?
Exactly. Like you had two faces, right?
Right. It was like living two different lives. And so I think the biggest challenge now as an adult is I have these walls up because who am I safe with?
Yes.
And so in my family, I think my biggest challenge is the fear of being rejected for what I have to say.
That's a big one. That's good.
And I think we come from a different generation of we're able to express ourselves better because we have access to the internet. We have access to being able to dive into those things.
Yeah.
And so my parents' generation has a harder time taking accountability for if I say, hey, you hurt me when you did this. It's a little bit harder for them to say, no, I didn't. Or to be able to say, I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Like, how can we move forward? How can I fix it? Or, whatever. They're
or
not
my parents will say something, I'm an adult. That's kind of like what we do, right? They rationalize it.
Exactly.
That's good.
So I think that's my biggest challenge is the fear of, like, being vulnerable and then being told, like, actually you're wrong. Or, and our relationship has taught me a lot that it's okay to be vulnerable. Even if someone is going to tell you that you're wrong, your feelings are valid.
That's good.
That's
so how long have you guys been married?
We've been married 2 years, but we've been together for 8.
8, you know what the number 8 represents?
No.
New beginnings.
Oh.
Take that.
That's pretty fitting.
Is it? I love it.
That's exciting.
Okay, Daniel.
Here we go.
All right. Now, this is, I don't know. Do you think it's harder for men to actually express their feelings?
Yeah. Well, I think us as men, I feel like we just lack the overall emotional intelligence. Just being able to talk about it or feeling like you're not going to look weak or feel weak by talking about it. That's what I struggle with, I'd say, by far the most.
So that would be probably your number one, the biggest, just so you don't feel like, I don't want to say girly,
less
but...
man.
Less masculine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so then how do you define emotional intelligence?
I think it's being able to, one, acknowledge your own feelings, but then to be able to recognize other people's feelings and validate them and take accountability for your own things. So it's like the validation of, I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm sorry I did that. How can we move forward? But then also being able to say, well, this is where I was at in that encounter or whatever it was. And like striving to be better, like always trying to, whatever, we had an argument. How can I do better in our argument next time? Or,
You guys don't have arguments. You're just
Never.
so cute. They can't have arguments, right? I love it. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
good.
think
That's good.
I think that's the biggest thing is like being able to learn from
Yeah.
your past experiences and then being better and going forward and
Yeah.
and how you're going to respond differently next time or
Yeah.
you know
Leaving the past behind as a lesson, right? Instead of
Right.
a prison.
right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And moving
It's a
forward.
great way to say that. Yeah.
Awesome. So how would you say emotional intelligence?
I would say kind of similar to what she's saying. I mean, you learn everything that you learn is all based on conversations that you've had with anybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
learn
yeah.
more and you try to correct it by the next time.
Yeah.
And you're just constantly gaining more and more and more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot to learn.
Yes, the journey continues, right? Healing is a journey, right? Until we like leave this place. So
It is true.
awesome. Thank you,
Yes, thank
Kylie.
you.
Thank you, Daniel. What? I don't think I could have explained it any better. So I thank you. I thank you guys for just giving me a chance to just express it.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you. Thanks for
Awesome.
letting us do
Yeah, and then I got to figure out all of this, right? It's
Yeah.
like complex, right?
It seems like
It's kind of
very
like
simple.
sorry.
Oh,
This is
okay.
the Portuguese version.
Okay, okay. And what's the name of it again?
Aggravation.
Ah, I wonder if my significant other would be willing to do an aggravation game.
It's a lot of fun.
I love it. I love it. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Aggravation for emotional intelligence. Release. It's a release.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.